The final chapter of the original trilogy was directed by Richard Marquand and released in May of 1983, eventually earning nearly $450 million in profit. Picking up the story of Empire a year later, we join our fearless heroes during a daring hostage rescue back on the dusty desert planet of Tatooine. The supremely fun and thrilling assault on Jabba's sail barge would normally serve as a climactic centerpiece in most any other film, but here it's merely a precursor to the epic conclusion to the six-part story. The PG space opera reunites Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Ian McDiarmid, Frank Oz, and James Earl Jones for one last fantasy extravaganza around and above the forest moon of Endor. By now, the actors have all found a steady rhythm bringing their characters to life, but the standout performances are definitely from Hamill and McDiarmid during their uncomfortable confrontation late in the film, as the Hood and Emperor taunts, "Let the hate flow through you." Although never referred to by name, a band of mischievous furry woodland creatures called Ewoks can be a bit childish, but they're a terrific comedic offset to the film's heavier moments. At 136 minutes, this is a well-paced adventure that adeptly balances the slower character discovery moments, like an emotional scene between Luke and Leia, with the effects-heavy action set pieces, like Lando's Death Star attack run aboard the Falcon. Intercutting three parallel stories, the final act is a true tour de force experience, meshing humor, sorrow, hope, and despair into a furiously awesome climax that will have all audiences at the edge of their seat.
Lock S-files and attack positions.
May the Force be with us.
Well, how could they be jamming us if they don't know if we're coming? Break off the attack. The shield is still up.
I get no reading. You sure?
Pull up! All craft, pull up!
Take a base of action.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap.
The visuals used to achieve the hundreds of effect shots are as impressive as they are seamless, especially when you consider this picture is 30 years old and still looks better than many of today's sci-fi films. John Williams' score, as usual, serves as a powerful backbone to the picture, providing emphasis and tension in all the right areas, resulting in a truly rewatchable and re-listenable experience. George Lucas made a number of alterations to this film's re-releases. Updating the Sarlacc monster to include a beak is fine with me. It looks even more frightening now. But a goofy musical number only serves to distract from an otherwise tense moment. And although I understand the symbolism behind including prequel star Hayden Christensen as a Force spirit in the movie's final shot, I reject the idea behind it, which suggests Anakin was never redeemed. His true self apparently died 25 years earlier. The original version had it right, with an older Anakin Skywalker played by Sebastian Shaw, which retains a more hopeful message. The names, places, and mythos within the Star Wars universe are fascinating and attractive, and this roller coaster experience serves as a great ending to all of the plot threads and people we've met along the way. Well, at least until Disney releases Episode 7 in 2015. Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi. An unrelenting spectacle with lovable characters. And now let's go to the YouTube comments to see what you had to say. Our scores for Return of the Jedi, a 9 and a 10. Fun and adventurous, but ultimately flawed, you enjoyed this picture enough, calling it a great conclusion to the saga, rating it an awesome. By now you can certainly tell I'm a Star Wars fan, having adored this franchise since I first rode Star Tours at Universal Studios in the early 1990s. I have no problem rating this an amazing.